Hello, everyone. This is Willina. I am your NEMT startup coach. I am here today with Miss Alicia Harris with We Simply Care Transportation. And you may remember Alicia from previous interviews from Struggles to Success. If you haven't watched that interview, I suggest you do. And we are now circling back around a few months later and just doing a recap of where Miss Alicia is and how her journey has progressed. Miss Alicia, can you please tell us what's been going on?
Well, lots been going on. It's all been good. It's been a real journey. Learned a lot from you on this journey. And I do appreciate all the help that you've given. So I do appreciate it because my beginning was hard and a lot of mistakes. And I know that God led me, to your channel because I had watched tons of YouTube videos on how to do this, and all the other videos that I watched and tried to follow got me deeper and deeper and deeper in trouble. And if anybody is starting out on this journey, I would say you're blessed if you're watching this. And this is the truth. If you're following anybody else, I would say stop it right now, because I did it. And I've probably watched everybody out there and listened to everybody out there. And none of that stuff got me where I am today. When I took the advice of Willina here in her program and followed it, and she was taking me step by step, literally, through this process. It got me to where I am today. Where am I at today? Today, where I'm at is getting ready to go for business funding, guys. You know what I'm saying? It's awesome. I mean, I went from really literally drowning in debt, having to go back to work, to kind of, help support our household. Me and my husband help, so he's not drowning and trying to pay all the bills, right? Mm-hmm. So now I've completed the SAM.gov piece, which shot me over to the SBA piece, which got me to do the women-owned business, small business certification piece, right? And once I kind of got those pieces done, it's like a door kind of opened up, right? And then my impact, which in Illinois is the approval, you need to go through their application approval process in order to be able to service Medicaid and Medicare. And the additional blessing with it is because of working with Ms. Willina, when I did that application, I had everything ready to upload for that impact program, that they actually approved me on a whole nother level to where I'm actually able to bill Medicaid and managed care directly myself. I don't have to go through a broker. I can do it directly myself. So, am I saying it's easy? No. It's a lot of paperwork, For me, I wanted to be able to cross state lines, so I had to get that Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration application done for my DOT and my MCO, right? And numerous things, business licenses. So when I went through that impact program and they do a virtual site visit, and they were walking through, the guy was so impressed that I had everything that he needed, that he was like, oh, okay, well, this won't take but about 15 minutes, And so then he said, well, in 2 weeks, you'll hear back. In 2 days, I was approved. And so with that, like I say, the doors have opened. Um, it's so good if find somebody good to go on this journey with. It's well worth the investment to have a mentor who understands the process. And I was so impressed with Willina the first meeting that we had, because we had a free consultation and she popped up on the screen. She was all behind the scenes looking at who had what contracts. And I was like, oh, this chick bad. She's everybody got. I said, so she must be good. She must know. She knows to go there. Nobody ever showed me that. Nobody ever told me that. Right. And I had spent money. I spent money. Like, people are like, oh, you could get, I'm going to send you a list of all the brokers for $40, right? And get this list, and half the links don't work. And then, or some of the other documentation, you think that you're buying to try to get ahead of some things, and then you get it and you're looking at it and you're so disappointed in what you got, right? So it's good to have somebody on the journey with you. I am so excited. I actually got a call, guys, from a local nursing home who wants to partner with me. We Simply Care Transporting Services, right? So they want to partner with me. So, I'm setting up a meeting to go over the facility agreement, be my first one ever. I seen it like in videos, people talking about these, get those facility agreements. But because of just the little bit of time I've been, I'll make a year, June 27th, right? That I've been on this journey. So don't run out and get your truck. That insurance and that truck. And it's only the grace of God that I've maintained it all this time. And for the month of May, April was able to provide for the first time. I'm going to meet my expenses, Woo! Yeah, that takes a big, because my expenses can run between right now, because when I first started with Willina, she said, okay, you got to stop, you got to back up, you got to get out of all that stuff you didn't got in, cancel all them subscriptions, all that stuff you're doing, because you're not ready. That's what she said. I said, how is this woman telling me I'm not ready? I said, you don't understand. I said, I got this man right here, He's telling me, you want to make that truck pay for itself. So it worked out, though. It worked out. I took her advice. I had many routes. I immediately called them and canceled that, because, that they're $150 a month, right? Regardless of how many vehicles you have. But then even talking to them now, their pricing structure has changed. So it may not be many routes that I use. So I'm, looking and more closer at the referral that can be. So I'll look a little bit closer at them, because that may be where I start.
I think hold on, Alicia, I don't want to interrupt you, but I think that it went out a little bit. You said you're going to look for, you said you were going to look more closer at who?
Bambi.
Okay, Bambi. Oh.
Yeah. Because, I did have the initial talk with them, and they did tell me, yeah, they're growing. They know they don't have all the bells and whistles that a Medi Routes has, but they're going to get there. And when they get there, they're not going to a la carte you. They're going to add it in. So I said, well, maybe I better think of that way as opposed to the Medi Routes, because when I'm looking at their new structure, I think it prices you out if you're a startup.
Yeah.
You're a startup. It really prices you out. And once the company starts growing, I guess they're getting a lot of people coming to them and everything. Then when you start changing your model and you don't think about what you're doing, you're providing a service to help people that are in need, who need our service, right? I got in this because I wanted to help people who were already dealing with their health issues, health failing. People are leaving here. I mean, I see people sitting waiting forever. You understand? And I know I'm just starting in this game, but I've been blessed so far to try to be able to not have people sitting and waiting forever for either to get there or to leave where they're at, right? So trying to be conscientious of that, because there's money in it, but I don't want to forget the compassionate part of why I got into it.
Mm-hmm.
God bless me anyway.
Right. That's right.
So, it's just good management. Don't get greedy. That's what I would say. Don't get greedy.
That's
the reason why you got in it. Now, if you got in it because you want to make a lot of money and it had nothing to do with the people, you probably won't last long, because you're not going to provide a level of service that people should have, that people deserve to have. Well, I'm entering into that senior part, those senior years, that last quarter, if you want to call it. And should, God forbid, I have to use transportation services, pray they be clean, the vehicles are not smelly and dirty, and my driver and assistant is nice to me, so that's what I'm providing. And I do thank you so very, very much for all of the guidance you give me, all of the prayers you've done, even in the midst of, I know it's God, because even when you were battling in your body, you're showing up. I was like, okay, God. So I appreciate that. I really do. And I know that God is going to give you great success in what you're doing, because you're doing it from the right perspective and for the right reasons. You see all these people out here fluttering around, and they're not doing it, and they can't sustain. They can't stay out here. And it is a service that's needed. And I will say to people that get into this and know other people that are struggling in it, send them to Willina. Later, help them kind of get their path going the right way, because it's nothing like being a business that is really a real business, like next is the we bank, and the women owned business, all those certifications, because once you can get through one, not the one I just did, that one was like super easy, because that shot me from SBA there. But this next one, once I get these financial documents created, because you sent me to the Small Business Development Center, and the first round of it wasn't a good experience. So I was a little leery, right? Because the lady wasn't into it, right? So you sent me back again, try a different person. So I got a different guy. And this guy was like, oh, yeah. Oh, he said, okay, I need to see your business plan. Because I told him what you said. Go tell me you're ready for business funding. I did. And he said, I need to see your business plan. I said, okay. And, I'm a little leery, because I'm like, man, everybody's seeing my business plan. And somebody
that business plan is kicking.
So I shared it with him, and then he was like, okay. He said, all right, we got something to work here with. He said, that's good. He says, okay, so how are we going to do this thing is I am going to start meeting with you in person. And your homework is to file your taxes, because I had started in June of 2023. So for 2024, I could file business taxes, right? Yeah. So that's a plus, right, for business funding. And then he told me, he said, you go to the bank and talk to a commercial lender and see what their requirements are. And he told me, where do you bank at? And I said, I bank at Fifth Third. And he was like, oh, so do I. He says, okay, go to Fifth Third. And I never thought to go to Fifth Third, right? I didn't. And he said, no, don't go to a big bank or blah, 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 because they're not going to help you. He said, no, you got to go to a smaller or mid-sized bank. And so I went and I sat down with the young lady. And at first she was like, Alicia, you got to have 18 months in business before we can help you with a commercial business loan, right? And I was like, started explaining to her what it was I was doing and why I was doing it. And I explained to her, I said, listen, this is some very important work that I'm doing. I said, just this November, I was able to transport one of the members of my church's mother from a nursing home to have Thanksgiving with her. It was a journey. And I knew when I picked that woman up that she wasn't going to be with us long because she couldn't really move. It was just coming to that end. And I have seen that several times with people who have transitioned on to the Lord. So we got her in the home, right? And then when it was time to take her home, and this woman was she was sharp in her mind. She remembered my husband from him helping her when she sold her property and all of this stuff. She was just talking it up, and we were just having a good conversation. And we took her back to the nursing home, and lo and behold, before Christmas she passed. But that family was blessed that they were able to have their mother and their home for that holiday, Thanksgiving, right? So when I told that young banking girl this, she started crying. So I touched something. She started crying. So she went from, you got to have 18 months. Oh, let me look on the SBA side for SBA loan.
Okay.
And then she called somebody and she said, I have a young lady here who has a really, really great business going right now, who's looking for business funding, but she's at 12 months. Do you think that we will be able to find something for her? And then she put the guy on hold. She said, what you looking for? I said, I'm looking at about 170, 200K, right? She said, okay, she told him. And then she put him on hold again. She said, Alicia, if you can do 100K or less, I think we could work with that, right? Then you won't have to have any collateral. Like this guy, of course, if you're like, cool. Anyway, so she says, okay, so she talked to the guy again. He's supposed to get back to her, and she was going to get back to me. So when I talked to her today, because I opened up a business account that day, and because I opened it up, and she helped me open it up, and then that helped me by opening that up, right? So then I told her, I said, yeah, so I have to change everything with Impact and put the business account in there, change it up and everything. So when I talked to her today, I said, I can't get back into my account. I don't know what the deal is, because it keeps bringing up my personal account. So then we did it again and we got it back up. And I told her, I said, because I got to put this first check I got from Medicaid in there, right?
It's too close. It's too close. It's too close. It's too close. There we go. Come your address. We got to redact that. But oh my gosh, how much is it? How much was it? How much was it?
This was just the test, right? So here's the cool thing about it. They were, and I know it's all a God thing. They were like, okay, so she's got all these things together.
But how much was the check, Alicia?
This was just a small one. This was just $192.
No, that's still good. That's amazing.
This was just $192.
That's one day worth of work.
Yeah. So here's the thing, because she trained me. So when I called Impact and I was saying, well, okay, so it says I can bill you guys, right? And so I said, but I don't understand how to do it. She says, okay, call me tomorrow. And we got online and she walked me through. She said, just give me one of the clients you're servicing, because for some reason I'm at the top of the list. When Impact works with a company called TransDev. So when these Medicaid people call her call them or have an appointment, they call TransDev, who is contracted with, and it's not a contracting deal, okay? Contracted with Impact. So I have a wheelchair van. There are only five transportation companies, and only 3 of them got wheelchair vans.
Wow.
And kind of way I'm on the top of the list. So I'm the first one on the top of the list. The people call, they tell them that they have an appointment, so they gather some information, and then they give them a list of the transportation companies in this area. So I was like, well, praise God. I thank God for favor.
Amen.
But yeah, well, she said, let's just do your first week. Because I got immediately I got a call as soon as it just all of a sudden started. And the guy called and he said, yeah, I'm looking to try to find somebody taking me Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to dialysis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what time, right? And then he told me, and I just said, I'm going to do it. This job is flexible. And they said, okay, Alicia, we'll let you be as flexible as you need. I said, yeah, but I'm going to have to let you go, though, because I'm a woman-owned business. I can't be having another side job like that. So
That's right.
Yeah. they actually trained me, and she said, let this one go through, right? This is just taking him round trip for 3 days, right? And
that's awesome. She
says, if it gets rejected, then we'll fix whatever the problem is. It didn't get rejected. I didn't even get any notice. I just got a check. Then later, they don't do things, they do things a little off kill. Then later, a couple of days later, I get the information telling me what the check was for. So I got the check for, I didn't know what it was for. It came in 2 separate envelopes. But the basis of it all, guys, is really it takes some patience and some faith in God, and let God direct your steps. If you found your way to willina, then you in the right place. Trust me, all that stuff out there, just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. You're going to waste time. You're going to waste money. If she's telling you to do something, just trust God, do it, and see the outcome. See the outcome. You'll get there. It does, but you do have to do some work.
You do some work.
Put some work. Anything worth having, you're going to put some sweat into it, sweat equity, right? If you want right. So this would be, and I've done quite a few businesses. This would be, I want to say, honestly, the first one I can really see that will be successful. And it'll be done the right way. And I will be recognized as a real entity that can apply for contracts, right? The contract, not the broker. I want to be
you got government contracting.
Yeah. Which is be part 2 with willina, right?
Look, let me go take some classes.
Some classes on that.
Yeah.
It makes it good, because this is, like I say, our last quarter, and we want to build generational wealth, right? So we build this. This is something that our kids can take over and run, and we're going to be good. We're going to be good. It's a lot to it, so you're in the right place. And I do thank you, willina, for your time, your patience, your knowledge, your share, being willing to share, because everybody is not sharing. That I kind of notice out here in the field. People do not share. So when you find somebody that knows how to do this, you should listen.
Yeah. And that's the benefit. I really want to say you are so welcome, Alicia. Number one, I want to say you look so amazing. Like, you just look so amazing. And I just, even from when we met, I think it was back in, what was it? When we started working together back in
October. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And just to kind of, I know you went over it a little bit, but when I met you, you had so much going on because you had the cart before the horse. You had you had the transportation side set up, ready to go, insurance, a broker list that wasn't all really put out where it needed to be, vehicle payments, and husband's like tick tick tick, and I'm like, oh goodness, I'm under the gun. and I do remember that night, because I mean, it was like your time and my time were separate, so it was late. It was a late appointment, and it was like, I was like, man, okay, let's get this done. And we had to cancel out all that, to prevent you from going into debt. And you did it, and you did it so willingly. And I know it was so painful, because a lot of these steps, it was new, and and it's so new for everyone. And I appreciate that you trusted me to help you go through that journey, because it is tough and it's hard. And I can say that the reason why it's so easy for me to give is because I'm not in the industry. It's I have nothing to gain by not telling you, what, I have nothing to hold back. There's no area that you can affect. It's like it's not even the same industry. So business consulting and NEMT, they're two different things. I'm just grateful that I had the experience, the harsh experience of learning the business, so I can teach others not to do the same mistakes that I made.
Yes.
So I just want to tell you, I'm just so proud of you, and I'm so thankful to James for allowing you to finish your journey and walking you through it. And I know you guys have had some setbacks too, but you guys always come back strong and came back at it. So I just want to say how much I appreciate you guys for trusting me through the process.
Yes, yeah. It's been a blessing. It's been a blessing. Yes, it has. And I appreciate it so very much. I'm looking forward to where I'm going to go. You guys have to come back again for the update, see where I'm at, because I'm going to be sitting on the top.
We put business consulting in that sam.gov box. So you come to my training classes.
Yeah, it is so much to learn. And without a helping hand, you can get out here, you're going to waste a lot of money. You don't have to waste if you just, this YouTube video you guys are watching, this is the real deal. I'm just telling you, she the real deal. And if you listen to that other stuff, I'm living witness. I'm just here to tell you, I'm show you again. I got my first, I got through this Medicaid process, right? I got through the Medicaid. I got it. I got through it. Billing Medicaid, right? And I'm signing up. I'm going to sign up with the brokers, but right now I may not have to even do that, because if I do the pavilion, and I'm trying to support the pavilion, that's a nice size nursing home over there.
Yeah.
And then I got private pay clients now, and it's through this, me doing this, what you said, doing the impact, doing the sam.gov and
the networking
and networking, right. And I want to improve in doing my networking, right? Because I do have people that say they have networking things, and I think what hinders me right now is having a part-time job. I mean, it was not part-time, but having this job, which I keep trying to let them go. Right?
It's gonna go. Listen, and and sometimes look, I've been trying to let nursing go for the last 2 years too. I quit for a whole year, and I was like, I just retire. I was like, and then my husband's like, okay, you can retire. I got all the bills. And then I looked down, I was like, I ain't got a new pair of shoes in like 6 months.
I gotta go back to work, man.
I gotta go back to work. So I was like, but I did. I went back part-time, and I continued to work this business. And so now, with us getting, in our age, it's like we need to have insurance. So I work 2 part-time jobs, so that we can have insurance. And sometimes, you got to do what you got to do as a small business
Yeah.
until you can get to where you are. I mean, and that's okay. You know, it'll
Yeah.
come. It'll come. You'll know when it's time.
Yeah, yeah, I know, I know. And the cool thing about it, though, is, and again, I give God all the glory, all the credit, because the way, even on the job, the way they were like, okay, Alicia, we don't want to lose you, so we're gonna make it flexible. You be flexible. You could be flexible. It's like, okay, you don't know the kind of flexibility I need, but I'm gonna show you.
You gonna find out. I can show you better than I can tell you.
Yeah, because this is real, and it just keep my heart. God keep my heart towards what my goal is, and that's to help people.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you got it. You got it.
Yeah.
Well, we just thank you. I want to thank you for sharing your experience, for coming on. I want to say thank you for, once again, to my YouTube family team, and tell you guys thank you again for all of the support that you give to the channel, and just helping one another over in the Facebook group. It's like popping over there. Everyone's helping each other, and it just really showing teamwork. So I just want to say that, you know, I really know that this space that we're building together, and when you see positive testimonials that people really are achieving the outcome of starting a NEMT on with the right foundations, that is spiraling and leveraging their businesses to the forefront. And it won't always be this way, guys. It won't, because they'll change the rules now. We already know they'll change the rules. So if you're serious about the business, you know, I say get serious about yourself and your investment in yourself. So, you know, learn the skills that you need for becoming an entrepreneur, and then get a mentor. I am here. I am willing to help. So let's go ahead and move this team forward. All right. Make sure to, yeah, hey, whoop, whoop. Like, do like Bambi. Like, what's it? Go run, baby, run. You know, we got to come up with a slogan. But please just like, share, subscribe, and I will be excited to speak with you guys soon. All right. Be blessed.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Alicia.